Hey y'all, welcome back to Veggie Farm. I'm Stacy and today I'm doing the TNOG 2020 Spring Gardening Wrap-Up, as well as I'm going to have an August garden tour, so I'll show you around the garden at the same time. Keep watching. So the first question is, will you have a garden in 2023? And my answer to that is yes. Despite the weather, the critters, the insects, I'm still pushing forward and learning how to garden, so I will have a garden in 2023. And I just want to show you what a summer garden looks like in my backyard. I have some herbs drying there. I have some flowers, just needed something to look good in the yard. And this is how the elderberry are looking. See quite a few burnt crispy leaves in there. I have some bags over some of the berries I was getting to try and protect those. See, I have just planted some Swiss chard in this bed here where I had the onions previously. And these plants are the longevity spinach that I got from Baker's Creek. So the next question is, what vegetable did you grow in 2022 but will not grow in 2023? Now, I think last year I said the same thing. Last year I grew a miniature eggplant, and the same answer is again this year. I ended up growing a small eggplant called a Thai lavender frog eggplant, and it's just a little tiny eggplant about that big. Now, I like eggplant, but I don't love eggplant. So I like a larger eggplant that can be made into different dishes. And this tiny eggplant, I really don't know what to do with it. I mean, I couldn't even just cut it up and roast it in the oven. So I will not be growing that small eggplant again. Over here is another little flower patch I put together. And these two pots have melons. See these traps? Definitely will be discussing those. I'm not looking forward to any melons off of those. And then in my green stalk, I have planted some more peppers, second round of peppers. And there's some beans in the back there. My okra that I planted in the ground. And I made this tiny bed from some old pallet wood. My sunflowers are starting to bloom. See, the wasps are loving it. And this is my miscellaneous herb bed, and everything is doing great in here. No problems. A few more flowers. And let's show you how the beds are looking. These are my pepper and eggplant beds, covered with shade cloth. Let's see, I have one flower here. Let's see, I have a couple flowers in here on the Black Beauty eggplant. Other than that, the peppers are all looking green and healthy without a flower in sight. Nothing on these plants. And I have more flowers. Lemon balm is actually loving it. This is some mandarina lemon balm. This is raspberry, and this is some plantain herb in here. I don't know if you can see it back there. Let's see. It's my moringa trees. Kind of coming up over the shade cloth. Again, here's more peppers. Plants big, green, and healthy. No flowers, no fruit. The Lesia pepper does have just one tiny fruit here. I see a few flowers coming, but it's so hot I'm not getting any production on these. I'm still fertilizing and watering. And this is my ground cherry. Spreading all over the place. Few beans in there, more flowers. And this is how the basil is looking with the Lipia alba branches in between. And so this is the state of the elephant ears. This is the shadiest spot I could find for it. And this is still what they look like. And then here's a bed I'm starting to empty out. That chicory that I'm about to break down and put in my compost tea. And then that's some Swiss chard. And what is thriving and taking over the whole garden is this hibiscus. This hibiscus is in love with this pot in the ground. It's not flowering yet, but it is just getting gigantic. So in the last video, I planted these beans on the trellis, but since then, this hibiscus has pretty much taken over the trellis and shaded everything out, so I didn't get anything to come up. I did plant an okra start there. This really not doing much, so just leaving it and watching it. The next question is, what vegetable did you enjoy growing the most in 2023? Now, I don't know if this is considered a vegetable, but my Jamaican sorrel hibiscus is just doing great. When I put it in the pot in the ground, it has just really taken off and it's so healthy. So that's my favorite thing that I'm growing right now. And then these are a couple of plants back here. This is a cucumber in this tower. And let's see, another moringa tree. Lemon balm, lemongrass, excuse me. And this is my butterfly pea plant. Still alive and spreading. And then she stopped producing flowers. And this is my eggplant. Has flowers on it as well. Here's a couple more cucumbers in these towers. And then right back here, I have some comfrey. And so these are some purple whole peas. They're getting started around the edge. And these are some more towers with tomatoes in them. And these are some new mint plants that I got. This one is berries and cream. And this is some chocolate mint. And this is orange mint. And then there's more purple whole peas right around here. I planted purple whole peas all the way down this backside. So the next question I'm going to answer is, name a vegetable you have never grown but will grow in 2023. And so I'm going to go with what I've never grown successfully. So melons, that's my answer. I will continue to try melons every year. It has not worked out for me yet. I haven't grown a full, sweet, juicy melon. Besides the first year, I was able to get one ripe cantaloupe that was so sweet, and me and my son enjoyed it so much that I'm going to continue to try all different varieties of melons every year until I get it right. So the last question is, one thing you will not do in your 2023 garden. So this is going to basically sum up how my 2022 spring garden went. What I won't do again is be slow to react when I see pest pressure. So in the beginning, I started seeing 1 or 2 peppers that were eaten off of. All the seeds were gone. They were huge bites taken out of them. And I thought it was the birds or the squirrels, and I just wasn't sure, and it kept happening. And then it started happening to my tomatoes. They started disappearing. And so I didn't know quite what to do, so eventually I got a trail cam to see exactly what was eating all of my vegetables, and then I could decide, how to handle it. So when I saw what was on that trail cam, I kind of took a pause. There were mice and rats and cats. I mean, there were all kind of stuff in the garden. And I was just so disturbed and disgusted that I almost kind of felt depressed and defeated. And I just sat back and thought, okay, they're out there 24/7. There is nothing I can do to save my garden. So I took a few days. I just kept watering and watching, and then eventually I said, look, I cannot give up. I want my food. We need our food. So I put a plan of action together. I put out traps. We have caught so many, and my husband is just taking them out to the trash. I mean, at this point, I was disturbed by looking at them at first, but at this point, I'm just immune to it, and I want them gone. And I don't know if you all had seen in my garden tours before, I hadn't shown it much, but we used to have a shed. The shed is now gone. My garden is cleared out. There's no clutter. I am not going to be defeated by these things. And you will see in my garden tour, I have all kind of cages around everything. So I am not playing games with these animals. I will have my food this year and next year. So those are some of the changes I've made to my garden to make sure that I get food for the remaining of 2022 and 2023. All right, thanks so much for watching. Happy growing.